You have worked as Jungkook's secretary for a little over a year, and every single day has been a challenge. He's ruthless, demanding, and never accepts mistakes. While he is admired for his sharp business acumen, the employees fear his temper. Unfortunately, you are the one who spends the most time around him, handling his schedules, preparing reports, and ensuring everything runs smoothly. Today, however, you are struggling. A fever has been brewing inside you since last night, leaving you dizzy and exhausted, but taking a leave out of the question. Jungkook hates excuses, and you refuse to give him a reason to doubt your capabilities. As you sit at your desk typing up an important contract for an upcoming deal, your vision blurs slightly. You blink rapidly, trying to focus, but the warmth of your own body betrays you. Your eyelids droop, and before you know it, your head lowers onto the desk, exhaustion winning over your willpower. A loud bang startles you awake. Jungkook stands before you, his sharp eyes burning with irritation. His fist had slammed onto your desk, shaking everything on it. Are you seriously sleeping during work hours? His voice is low, dangerously cold. If you're not interested in this job anymore, I can replace you in an instant. You jolt upright, feeling panic seize you. No, sir, I wasn't sleeping. Don't lie to me. You're being ridiculously slow today. I asked for those reports an hour ago, and you're still not done. If you can't handle basic tasks, then get out. His words sting, but you bite your tongue. Your head pounds fiercely, and nausea creeps up your throat, but you lower your gaze and mutter, I'll finish them right away. Jungkook scoffs, shaking his head in disappointment before turning away. Be in the meeting room in 15 minutes. If you mess this up, don't bother coming to work tomorrow. 15 minutes pass in a blur. You barely manage to collect the documents needed for the meeting, your hands trembling as you follow Jungkook into the conference room. High profile investors and board members are already seated, waiting for the presentation to begin. Jungkook takes his seat at the head of the table, his sharp gaze sweeping over the attendees. You stand beside him, clutching the stack of documents tightly, trying to suppress the dizziness that threatens to consume you. The meeting begins and Jungkook speaks with his usual confidence, discussing profits, expansion plans, and future investments. Occasionally, he signals you to hand him certain files, and you force yourself to comply, though your hands shake more with each passing second. As you can see, our third quarter revenue has increased by 14%, exceeding our projected growth by 5%. This is largely due to the expansion in the European market and the successful launch of our new product line. He pauses, holding out a hand, the financial analysis report. You snap out your days, blinking as you fumble to grab the right file. Your fingers tremble violently as you pass it to him, the paper slipping slightly from your grasp. Jungkook catches them smoothly, but his eyes flicker to you. His brows knit together. Wyan? His voice is low, almost questioning, but he quickly masks it as he turned back to the presentation. The investors nod in approval as Jungkook flips through the pages. If we proceed with the proposed marketing strategy, we anticipate a future 10% increase in sales by the next quarter. He stops mid-sentence, side-eyeing you as you grip the table for support. Your breathing has grown heavier, your knuckles white from the way you are holding onto the wood. Jungkook's sharp eyes narrow. The projected ROI for the... He cuts himself off again, his frown deepening. This time he doesn't let it slide. He leans towards you, slightly lowering his voice. Wyan, are you okay? You swallowed hard, forcing a nod. Yes, sir. Jungkook doesn't believe you for a second. Your skin looks pale, and there's a sheen of sweat on your forehead. You're usually poised, Nature is completely off and you're swaying ever so slightly. His jaw clenches. He's about to call off the meeting, but then a sharp gasp echoed in the silence room. Your knees buckle, the world tilts, and before Jungkook can ever reach out, you collapse. Wyan. Paper scatters to the floor, the room erupts into chaos. But Jungkook doesn't care about the investors' confused murmurs or the way his employees rushed forward in panic. He's out of his chair in an instant, dropping to his knees beside you. His heart slams against his ribs as he brushes the hair from your burning forehead. Damn it. His voice is tight laced with something unfamiliar. Panic. Jungkook grits his teeth, scooping you up effortlessly into his arms. Meeting is over. His tone leaves no room for argument. Someone call the company doctor. Now. No one dares to question him as he carries you out of the boardroom. His hold tightens just slightly, and for the first time, the infamous John Jungkook realizes he has never been this afraid before. You wake up in an unfamiliar room, the soft scent of expensive cologne lingering in the air. The sheets beneath you are cool, contrasting the warmth that still lingers in your fevered body. A deep sigh catches your attention. Jungkook sits in a chair beside the bed, his elbows resting on his knees, hands clasped together. His usual composed look is gone, replaced by something unreadable. The moment your eyes meet, his jaw clenches. Are you out of your mind? You blink sluggishly. Sir? Exhales sharply, running a hand through his hair. You were burning up. You fainted in front of the entire board. Do you have any idea how reckless that was? You swallow hard. I didn't want to miss work. His eyes flash with something unreadable, anger, guilt, frustration. He felt so bad for shouting at you in the morning. He was frustrated about something else and you became the target. Usually he doesn't get mad at you. Are you that desperate to impress me to the point where you would risk your health? You don't answer. Jungkook exhales heavily and mutters, "Idiot." But the usual sharpness in his tone is missing. To your surprise, he reaches forward, pressing the back of his hand against your forehead. The unexpected gentleness makes your breath hitch. You are still burning up. He mutters under his breath, "You should have told me." Your lips part in shock as if you would have cared. You even shouted at me. Jungkook's eyes softened even more. He felt guilty. Of course, I would have cared. I may be strict, but I'm not a monster. He pauses before adding in a softer tone, "You are my secretary. That means you are my responsibility and I'm sorry for shouting. I was not in my right mind. I didn't mean any of that."